Wait, check this out.
Oh,
The dog's like, what is this?
both of ours just came in too.
Ours just showed up.
Yeah, they're like, what is that? It's time for another episode of Best of the Tour. This is the show that takes you behind the scenes of your favorite gig posters, tour merch, and the artists who bring it all to life. Let's start the show.
This is episode number 15 of the Best of the Tour podcast. We are sitting down for an artist interview with longtime friend of ours, artist extraordinaire, Mr. Dave Kloc. Dave, welcome to the pod.
Hello, great to be here in my living room.
Welcome.
Yeah.
We were chatting a little before we hit the go button, but I had a curious question that is not poster related because we kind of talked a little bit. Favorite breakfast burrito? You were talking about having a really good breakfast burrito, and I'm curious, what is your must-have on your breakfast burrito?
I like to think of a breakfast burrito as a utilitarian meal. Like, you shouldn't go all out on a breakfast burrito because then you've sunk your day's money and calories and effort. So start with something practical. And at the end of my street is a $5 breakfast burrito from a place that has been around since the 60s. And they haven't changed anything. And I get the Pappas bacon. It's basically eggs, cilantro, onions, potato, bacon.
Oh,
You had me at cilantro. That's
delicious.
The next move. We need to add cilantro to our morning.
And
ones.
they make their own hot sauce. And it's to the point where it's not like always the same. So like you can shake it in the little thing that they give you and you can tell if it's thick, you're in for some trouble.
Uh-oh.
Because it's like they're scraping out the essence from the bottom of it.
Yeah.
And if it's like dark and thick, it's
That's the good
like
stuff.
concentrate. Yeah. And you're just going to be weeping by the end of it. And it's
Set
$5.
your mouth on fire. I sweat from atop my head
Exactly.
when the Scovilles are up.
Yeah.
And you're like into blazing level. It's like,
And you're holding a hot cup of coffee and you're like, I don't want to put this on my tongue.
that's right. I'm not sure what I'm doing
Right.
here. Where's the
But
cold
also,
milk?
like, how does it get better than that, you know?
It doesn't.
So,
Low effort, low price, high quality.
yeah. What more could you want?
Also, it's the first time in my life I'm at the point where I'm at a no communication order,
Okay.
where I walk up and I do one or two if my wife wants one. So the
they
guy
just
sees
know.
me. Yeah. He doesn't
Yeah.
even, he goes, sup? And I go, and then he
Two.
holds the credit card thing. I tap it. I do my thing.
Utah, get me two, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Love it.
That is.
But yeah, it's one of those places that you'll see a bunch of people behind me be like, what's good? And then he'll see me and be like,
everything.
That's if you watch people, right? We'll go down with the family beach trips or whatnot. And one of our favorite spots on the East Coast is Myrtle Beach. And when you go to these little towns and you're exploring things, we always like to try to find that local spot, not just the touristy stuff. And we were in a strip mall, and the Yelp is a big help of ours, right? That gives us insight into the 5-star reviews. And we found this little Chinese food joint, kind of like hole in a wall, right in a strip center. And you pull in and you're like, based on these Yelp reviews, I'm not sure. And people are all lined up and they're like, shrimp fried rice, shrimp fried rice, shrimp fried, something's going on with the shrimp fried rice. I know. Same kind of thing. You're in line, like, give me two. Like, this is like a local spot I want to check out for sure.
Oh, yeah. Those are the best, especially when, again, you don't even have to think about it. They know you, you know you. It's just the magic of the universe being like, here's the gift.
That's right.
That keeps on giving.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, we're really excited because obviously we've talked about you on our other podcast, Posters in Every Direction. We've kind of shared some stories about some poster rescuing that Mike recently did. And if you are watching the episode, you can kind of see a couple pieces of Dave's behind us. That's not all of them. Those were just the ones that I had handy. And also, if I had all of them, you would see an entire wall worth of Dave's work in our home. But Mike and Dave were kind of chatting a little bit earlier before we hit the go button. I was like, wait, this is really good stuff. About, the concept of like searching for a poster that you really, really want, but also, depending on how the poster's condition is. And Mike shared the story, I think, a little bit, but
this is one of your pieces, Dave. Here, it's a Goose poster. No shock to our listeners. Goose, Dave Matthews Band are too prevalent in our house. We're also big Pearl Jam fans and love Metallica and love 311. But, where we started our collection, And this was a 2023 print. And so that was sort of actually before my time following Goose the band. And it's one of those that spoke to me because it's got this sort of spaceship or rocket ship or space shuttle theme with the apes. It gave me this Planet of the Apes, like 70s sci-fi culture, which is what I was birthed into vibe. And I admired it for a long time. And then I came across this deal on eBay. Somebody was clearing it out of their portfolio. And they were like, hey, it's got some dents, it's got some dings, it's been well loved, but we know it's not like a 10 out of 10, so we're going to let it go. And the opening bid was like $10. So I threw $10 at it and I won the auction. And it gave me this new perspective of like, you know, salvaging posters, like saving posters that have been well loved, bringing them into the collection. What can we frame out and then hold in a way that like comic book collectors might collect the Spider-Man #1, but it's in a 3.2 condition, or baseball card collectors, the Babe Ruth rookie card with, 2.8. Like you'd still want that in your collection. You might also pick up a better condition one later. And so anyhow, yeah, that's been the topic of conversation around that. I had to sort of brace Erica when I won this auction, because I was like, okay, I need you to follow me here. I'm getting a poster in the mail. There's a chance somebody just folded it up and put it in a manila envelope and mailed it to me. I really don't know. The condition does not look great. And she's like, what are you doing? I was like, I just have this idea. It's a poster I love, piece of art, one of our favorite artists, one of our favorite bands. Like, let's give it a home.
$10, low risk.
Adopt a poster.
Adopt a poster.
I don't have a story about every poster, but I have a story about that poster. Did I text you about it?
I don't.
Please do.
Please share with us. You might have, but let's talk about it.
So I drew this, and when I posted it, I got an email from a guy, Robert Ingersoll, who said, hey, I am a primatologist. I've worked with primates my whole life. And he says, I want to thank you for drawing this correctly and drawing it with the actual emotional weight that they carry in their face and not making it silly and like putting a silly hat on it and making it like squirt a banana across the screen. It was like, he said, I can tell this is like a caring mother with their child, like invested in it. And he said he worked on Project Nim, which is, it's on HBO. It's a heralded documentary about this group in the 70s that adopted a chimp. And I think the mother had passed, and they raised it to teach it sign language. So they raised it around humans, and they were like, we know these animals have very, advanced brains, but let's see how close we can get it to communicating with us using American Sign Language. And it learned like hundreds and hundreds of words. And he was a part of that documentary.
Wow. That's awesome.
Really?
And actually, we've kept in touch, and he came out. I did a trips in San Francisco, and him and his wife both came out, and I got to meet him. It was super cool. And all just from drawing that poster.
That's the one thing that I am always, as a poster collector, like we all experience the art through the lens of our backgrounds and our beliefs and the way that we see the world. And for somebody to have such a connection with a specific piece, it's really just kind of the universe magically making that happen.
Yeah, I couldn't have been more pumped. That was the best feedback on anything I've ever done.
Well, and a lot of your work does, contain, you do a lot of animals. I know we did one of your mystery tubes during the holidays. That was like, when I say, if you guys have never done a mystery tube for your favorite artist, it is the most fun. Our kids like to do the blind bags, back in the day. There was always like the blind cards and the little blind, like tchotchke toys. And that's literally like what it is for adults. Yeah, it's like a blind bag. You don't know what you're going to get. And Dave, you were so generous to be like, well, what kind of bands do you like? And I was like, well, we like Dave and Goose. And so we got some really incredible pieces, specifically one. It was your bears in these coffee mugs from a Dave Matthews in Clarkston. That was one that we had both been like wanting to get. Same kind of thing, like weren't at the show. Dave posters aren't as accessible to grab quickly unless you have a poster buddy, or maybe they have. Sometimes they have some extras on the warehouse, which is very, very rare.
Yeah, it varies.
But like the detail on these bears, it just, you have this way of your art to be able to kind of translate something that looks so much like the real thing.
Thank you.
But also has sort of, again, this like lightness to it that it makes for, again, I like to put these on the wall. Most of our art is on the wall. And to be able to like have kind of that, whoa, this is like details in the fur. And I saw some of your kind of time-lapse work as well. So I know you do a lot pen, ink, paper. Is that kind of your preferred starting medium?
It's the only way I know how to do it.
Yeah.
I will sometimes say like, I'm a purist. I love the analog stuff. And it's like, yeah, that's true, but I also just don't know a better way. It's not like I'm good at drawing digitally and I don't do it. I've just never gotten good at it. I see people using amazing brushes and like little plugins for Photoshop that would save me 10 years of, like joint pain, but I just only know, and I still use the same pens that I got in 2004, not the same exact pens, but the same brand. Like I was like, these are nice. And then I just stuck with it for, I'm at 23 years now. So
do you find that you just kind of get into like a rhythm of like the things that you like, the process that you take, it's sort of like repeat, let's keep doing it?
Yeah. I don't think I've changed a thing about what I do at any point. I had one artist friend who taught me the way to scan something in multiple pieces and then combine it. And that was like the one thing I've done to improve my process. After that, it's the same.
One of the, kind of the questions that we had, and because, poster collectors, we all kind of think different ways and are always just really curious about how you guys, go about creating the art. Do you ever find that, maybe you've gotten an opportunity for something that then you had to look at like your time and your energy and be like, ooh, I can't really do this the way that I want to do it?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, if there's a client I really like and they ask me to do something and I have to cram it in, I'm like, you guys deserve more than I'd be able to give you. And that's when I sometimes have to like maybe I take this gig that pays worse, but it's for a band I like more. And that's the beauty of the community of poster artists is it's like, I'm not just going to call a client and be like, I can't do it. I'll be like, I've got 3 people who could do a better job than me that are available. Just call me back in a year when you guys tour again.
Yeah.
But like
That's
here
really
are
cool.
like 3 friends of mine who happen to be available somehow.
That's really, really cool.
It's
Is that pretty well received by the bands usually? And
oh yeah, you're not leaving them in a lurch if you're like,
Yeah.
this guy, like you didn't know about him a minute ago and now you do and you're just as pumped as you should be.
If you're like me and Erica, you love passing out stickers while attending concerts with friends, making new friends. Where do you get these stickers? Look no further than stickerrobot.com. They are renowned for the highest quality sticker printing on the planet, world famous, custom outdoor silkscreen sticker printing, free US shipping, and we have a promo for you. If you visit stickerrobot.com/invisible, you will receive 10% off your next high quality screen printed sticker order. So act fast.
Going right now.
Right now.
Right now. And also, thanks to our friends over at the Rock Poster Society. If you don't know TRPS, they are a nonprofit behind the world's longest-running rock poster collection shows. That includes the Festival of Rock Posters in San Francisco, which is a bucket list thing for Mike and I to go to. They have been championing the art of poster for decades. They support both the artists and those people who collect them and preserve them. If you want to get involved, go over to trps.org if you want to become a member and check out their upcoming events.
Check them out. One of the pieces that I see of yours, Dave, that comes up repeatedly, and again, I mean, I know for our listeners, if you know Dave, you know he's done work for Dead and Company and Billy Strings, and I mean, you name it. You've probably touched one of these incredible, like, top touring bands today. So I don't mean to keep harping on Goose, but like, this is sort of like where my brain goes. Is just like, as Erica said, I love to just ask questions about what was your brain thinking when you did this?
Sure. Go
And
on.
the one that comes to mind is, I think it was a Colorado Red Rocks one. It's pretty famous that you did for Goose. It's sort of like this waiter with like a head disappearing, holding this big slice of cake. It's become something of like a legend and a grail for a lot of people. And that's why I wanted to ask about that. Is like, what's your process? Are you listening to the music there? And you're like, are you hungry for cake? Are you,
I mean, always. I mean, always.
Who's not hungry for cake?
Yeah, no. it wasn't in the 10 minutes of the day where I didn't want cake. I remember that was a weird thing where that was so Red Rocks has a specific clause where you have to put out an advertisement for the show 6 months in advance of the show. So you'll notice Red Rocks stuff goes up way early. 6 months is as late as you can get. When you get the gig, they're like, all right, start advertising. And I got asked by my friend who does the Goose merch, and he's like, we just got a thing, like, will you do the ad mat? And you guys know what ad mats are? Mm-mm. So, when you go to a show and you see the venue, you walk in, there's like what do you call it? Corkboard with like so many just printed out 11 by 17s. And it's like a band photo. And then at the bottom, it's like next Thursday.
Yes.
Those are just ad mats, which just means they're just promotional. They get sent to every venue. So the venue can write like, these guys are coming here. And then obviously that was for when I was growing up, but like now they're digital ad mats. But 9 times out of 10, the ad mat is just a photo of the band.
Okay.
Or like their album cover for the album they're touring on. So my buddy was like, can we do a little ad mat? And I was like, great. And he's like, we need it in 24 hours. And I was like, I'll do it. But the thing I want to get paid with is the promise that I'll be able to do another poster for the Red Rocks show.
Okay.
And he was like, we already got Drew Millward to do it. And I was like, biggest Drew Millward fan. Yeah. I get it. I was like, maybe it's a shirt design. And he's like, done. And then the art connected with people. And he was like, hey, we want to do a poster for it. And I was like, great. So I rejiggered it because it was like a narrow thing. And then I just had to do more. And then I put it out. He was like, you get 50. I was like, that's great. And I remember I was playing hockey, a Saturday morning hockey game. And on the bench, I put that product live. And I didn't think it was going to do well because there was a Drew Millward poster. I put it up and then I just went back and continued playing hockey. And it was like my phone melted.
Oh my goodness.
I came back and I was like, they sold out and everyone's mad. Because that's how, like, there is no like celebratory period. It immediately, you get 1 second of, hey, that did well.
Yeah.
And then a day and a half of people being just pointedly mad at you that you didn't have one for them.
Right. Sure.
You jerk. Like, it was in my cart. You are a sinister monster. I can't believe it.
The carjacker strikes again.
You've ruined my child's life. Like, we took my dad off life support because of this. Like,
we needed the battery power to try to be there for the drop.
Exactly.
And it was in my cart, and I didn't get it.
I was pushing my baby. I let the stroller go, and I didn't even get it. Now the baby's dust. So it's like, yeah, that one was crazy. And for like 2 years, I was getting like a regular email from someone being like, well, you sold out right in front of me at the show.
Yeah.
It would cure my jaundice if you had one for me.
Yeah.
It's interesting the lengths that we go to. I mean, from the collector side, I would not do that. However, the lengths that you go to get the print, we've talked about this. Mike and I we stand in line. If there's a print and we see the artist, or we maybe know, hey, this is going to be a Dave Kloc or another artist that we collect on our walls, we know like our time is money. And so we're going to put in the time and the energy to go wait in line. And the other side of it is we have made such great friends standing in the poster line.
Yeah.
In every type of weather you can possibly imagine, sunshine, rain, the likes. And for us, it's worthwhile because, one, we're going to get a print, whether it's a regular or foil, and we like shiny paper, so we try if we can, if it's available.
I think it hypnotizes me is what happens.
Probably.
I think the shiny paper does something, melts my brain into submission.
That's cool.
And then, then we get the experience of spending time with people that we wouldn't have otherwise met. And now we travel around the country going to shows with people that we met in the poster line.
That's cool as hell.
And it is. And it's something special. We get from our side, like people are like, same kind of thing. Oh, you guys always get foils. Ugh, I wish I could get a foil. Well, come and stand in line with us. You either put the time and the energy into it, or you're on that AP drop 5 seconds before it goes live, and you maybe get the luck of the draw.
And I've been there. I get it. As a fan, as a collector, I've been carjacked. I think it's just a little bit about also how many times have you been carjacked, right? It's like that meme where it's like, you know, they're all at the gallows, they're all got the noose on, and
Like
James Franco.
Oh, the James Franco, right.
Right.
Buster Scruggs.
Yeah. And it's kind of like, you go hard for the ones that you want. And like you said, for an artist, right, the AP drops, it's like you want them all to sell out. I mean, that's the objective, but at the same time, you'd also love to be able to deliver it to everybody who wants one. And so I've got to believe it's a difficult balance.
I do hold some back. That was something I learned. I hold some back for obviously like the logistical stuff. If like something got ruined in transit or lost, which really doesn't happen. But I also hold them back for, you know, if someone does have like an authentic, like,
a real
the show with my dad, he died an hour later.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've had those things happen, and I'm like, this story is too real and so like cinematic that like I went and looked up. I did have someone say like he died 2 days after the show was the last show, and I like found the guy's obituary and I like looked up this guy's like Facebook, and his dad did actually die, because I've had so many fake ones. Wow. I'm like, how many dads are dying? Like at these shows.
Don't throw your dad under the bus for a poster. Maybe maybe you don't deserve a poster if you're gonna.
Dead & Co. is a lot of people's last stop.
Oh well, that's and that's a big pull just from the weight of the art, and obviously now with Bobby Weir and his passing, we have a lot of those people who are like, that was Bobby's last show, and I want to get the print from the last show that we went to, and all valid, like understandable. But the nice thing about being a poster collector is, like, if you wait around, something might shake out, the proverbial poster portfolio tree.
Yeah. Yeah. Things bubble back up to the surface.
Yeah. I mean, that's, the find of the century for Mike and his eBay rescue. And it legit came in. I think it came in a box. I don't think it was like,
it wasn't like your standard poster tube.
Yeah. Not in a tube. It was in like a box that a tube would fit in.
Yeah. But no tube.
No tube.
And the box itself had a little wear and tear on it.
A little love. So we opened it up, and the first thing I said to Mike was, I was like, that'll frame out.
Yeah, that's right. It's like those old videos where like somebody damages the car and they're like, that'll buff right out.
Yeah.
I always love those.
But it's on our wall now.
We
get to enjoy the art. We get to enjoy it, not just because it was like a good find, like, wow, we've rescued this, but it's because we appreciate it. And there's a story to tell with it. It's hard, though, because there's a lot out there, I'm sure, between the people who buy because they want to collect it, and then the people who buy because they're trying to fund something else or whatnot. And we've had a lot of conversations about sort of that industry as a whole.
Yeah.
And it's hard, right? It's a hard conversation because I get it from you're going to try to maybe fund your travels, but also then from the recipient side, it's like, but I really want that print.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's room for all of it. And I try not to like cast judgment on people or what they're doing on the road and picking up an extra copy or whatnot and flipping it quickly to help pay for the next show. But also just logistically for me, it's like, it's a lot. Like I got to just remember to, pack the things that I brought to the hotel to get out and back and make the plane and travel to the next venue. It's hard enough to travel with my posters, let alone extras that I'm going to try to sell later.
Yeah. You've talked about a little bit, like you were able to connect other artists, we've talked a little bit about the community of the gig poster artists as a whole. How, when you work, you're working essentially solo, right? It's your work, your art, you're in your studio. What does the community like mean to you? The sort of growing community of poster artists out there?
I mean, it's the best. And I live in LA, which is, I couldn't be around more people, yet there are just no other people here who do what I do. There is Mike Tallman moved here 3 years ago, Ad Noise Studios.
Okay.
Nicest guy in the entire world.
Yeah.
Couldn't be happier that he moved to LA. He moved from Denver, and that's great. And Little Friends of Printmaking are out here, but they moved 2 hours away, which is on the other side of the planet.
That's like a million miles away in California time.
Exactly. So it really does feel like a weird island, but I also work at like a WeWork. I tried to surround myself with some interesting stuff, but like if you caught me on a work day, I'm in the quiet room at a WeWork in Glendale, surrounded by dudes doing coding, crypto bros on big headsets, pacing. people doing interviews, being like real sweaty, wiping their hands on suits.
Yeah.
And then I just bring my board with my drawing on it and I sit, because for me, there's no distractions.
Yeah.
And there's free coffee.
Right. Bonus.
I mean, I'm
like a
making my
win-win.
money on coffee savings.
That's a real thing. I went through that math a few years ago when it was, pandemic kind of, I think it wasn't quite at its height, but we were both working from home full time for the first time in history.
Yeah.
It was always either Erica worked from home or I did, and kind of tagged in, tagged out. And we're both at home full time at that point. And it was like daily coffee shop runs started to add up. And I was like, this is getting expensive. But we both like, fancy coffee. We're espresso drinkers, right? Like for me, I'm just give me a couple shots so I can just keep going. And I bought an espresso maker, and I was like, this thing is crazy. I'm at Best Buy. It's $700, and it's like, what am I doing? But the mathed out. It was like,
the math is out.
We're going to recoup this, right? From not having to go and spend $14 a day on like two coffees.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
It's a lovely thing. And we collect like different kinds of mugs. So we have like our weekend mugs and our weekday mugs. It's just lovely to be able to like sit down after everybody's out before the day starts. And it's like, all right, let's reset and zone in.
This is my favorite. This is my biggest mug, and it also has a hockey puck. It's a Tim Hortons mug. So, yes, that is fun because I love hockey, but it is also its own coaster, and it's silent.
Right. I was going to say.
My wife is in podcasting, and the house is 60% of the day, I'm on quiet mode. So this mug, on a table, dead silent.
That's brilliant.
So
and now,
big ups to a good mug.
You play hockey. Do you also big fan of what hockey team? Do you have to pick one, or are you just I love hockey?
It's the latter. I have such a lame answer. I just love hockey, the sport. Like you turn it on, you can cover up the team names and the score. I'm invested.
That's me. Like I didn't grow up with hockey teams. I mean, I am adopted.
The correct answer is the Pittsburgh Penguins.
I know.
That's a good answer.
I have adopted all Pittsburgh related sports teams.
That's right.
Good, bad, the ugly, But I am the same thing. We live in North Carolina, and we occasionally will get like, hey, I've got some extra tickets to the Hurricanes. And I'm like, heck yeah.
How far is that for you?
Oh, like 20 minutes.
For the Canes?
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
The arena's very close. And it's fun. I think it's a sport that has like the most energy, and it's just like constant. You're like, new, this, go here. They're up against the wall. Wait, they scored. Wait, they scored. Wait, you're like, can't keep up with it. It's great for a very chaotic brain.
And I know that no one listening is like, finally, they're talking about hockey, but,
it's been our number one request, right?
But I will say, hockey
correctors.
kicks so much ass. It is so much fun to play. I've played my whole life. The guy who does the Goose merch is on my hockey team. Who works for the merch collective, who I like remember when he got the Goose account. He's like a great guy, and I've seen him build up his merch like footprint on the world.
Well, give him a shout out. We love what he's doing.
He's the best.
We've talked about how the direction that they went in, and trying to bring it back a little bit like to podcasts and what we talk about with the art and the posters. But there's this other medium with T-shirts, right?
Yep.
And some bands, I think, have branched out a little bit more. The Grateful Dead was the one that blew my mind when we went to a Dead and Company show. I'd never seen a merch booth that deep, like with that many options.
Like a leather jacket at a merch booth.
That was new to me.
If anyone's going to do it.
Yeah.
It should be the Dead.
Yeah. That's right. Billy Strings was really impressive. We went and saw Billy Strings when they were here local in North Carolina at Coca Booth and Cary. And they had just, a plethora of T-shirt options, many posters for the weekend, things like that. But Goose was the one that I first really noticed that we were going to and saw the nightly poster. Okay, this is common, right? Dave Matthews Band poster for this venue this night. Goose was also doing a T-shirt for the venue specific, the nightly sort of T-shirt.
That's all.
And
Morgan.
as that was happening, I was sold. I was like, I don't know why I love it so much, but like there's a limited edition nature here that is almost like hidden to the eye. You know what I mean? Like in our poster collecting, we know there's only 150 of these made or whatnot. It's an edition count and things like that. The t-shirts, though, maybe they don't have a hard and fast edition count, but try to go get one of those in your size after the show. Good luck. It's really hard. So now I'm like an obsessed fan, like sprinting to the merch booth when I get to a Goose show, in part to grab the poster if I like it or whatnot. But the primary driver for me right now is the t-shirts with those guys.
I get it. My life has been punctuated by my shirt collection.
Yes.
Since I was a kid, I have so many stories of like shirts I've acquired and lost. Like I worked at a summer camp. I'll never forget. I worked at a summer camp in 2002. I went to a show on a day off. I got the shirt. It was the greatest thing in the world. I jumped in the lake that night with the shirt on. I put the shirt on my bunk, and then the camp season ended. And I remember driving home being like, oh my God, the shirt's still on the bunk.
Oh no.
And I never saw it again. And then I saw that shirt. It was a Mastodon shirt.
Okay.
The band Mastodon, when they were touring on their first ever EP. And I remember being like, I'll never have that shirt again. And I remember I saw some interview with the singer of Baroness, and he was wearing that shirt. And I was like, I had that shirt. I had that shirt.
Man.
And it was a shirt with a whale on it, and it said Mastodon. And my favorite thing, everyone was like, that's not a Mastodon. And you're like, oh, I know.
That's why it's so good.
Yeah. Oh, this conversation is so cool.
Have you had anything that you've kind of, well, we know a lot of your work is paper and on, posters, but what we call merch adjacent or poster adjacent things, like, have you had something that went totally viral that wasn't like expected? Like, oh, I had this go on a t-shirt or a pin or like a small card or something like that.
I don't think so. Yeah. I work with this band Sleep.
Okay.
They're my favorite band to work with. And they turned a poster I did for them into a puzzle during the year and a half puzzle craze when everyone was locked in their living rooms.
I saw a bunch of those. Yep.
And I got 2. That was like the deal. They were like, we're turning this into a puzzle. We'll send you 2. And I was like, boy, oh boy, sounds good. And, oh, you know what? Skateboards. A couple things have been turned into skateboards, and that's pretty cool.
That's a whole scene in and of itself. Like I saw that at when Pearl Jam came around here. We saw. I mean, I've seen Skate Deck's a couple different bands, but Pearl Jam was one of them. And people, they took the image and they made them in multiple color variants.
Yeah.
So you didn't know what you were going to get. You walked up to the merch booth. You might have got a purple. You might have got a pink and blue. And people are like trying to swap them. And they had like a limit of like buy one, I think, or whatnot.
That was it.
And people went crazy for the Skate Decks.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I looked at Eric. I was like, see, it could be worse. I could collect Skate Decks. That could be, that gets heavier, harder to display, right? All these
They're pretty cool up on a poster wall, though. I've got a Skate Deck on my big poster wall. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, they are. I need at least 2 to balance it out.
You're a symmetry freak.
This is the snowball, though.
Right.
Like, well, if I have 2, but there was like 7 colorways, now I kind of have to like, it's the Pokemon gotta catch them all mindset.
Yep.
That's why I was thinking, I'm like, you're like, I don't know why I'm, the way that I am.
Well,
I'm like, because when, as children, Saturday morning cartoons or whatever it was, you gotta get them all.
The cross sell.
That cross sell of like, you're watching the show and then your action figures are there and then there's the comic books and you're like, well, I need all of it.
You got the Burger King Batman glasses.
Oh, yes. And there were the Muppet movie ones, the Star Wars ones.
The toys. Yeah.
They used to have the best Happy Meal and sort of adult, like, I remember, I think it was McDonald's or Burger King, the Smurfs had these, like, glass cups.
Absolutely.
You had to collect all the different Smurf cups, and the Muppet Babies ones I remember at McDonald's. And then the big one I always remember was the California Raisins.
Yes.
That was really big.
Super solid merch.
And, like, you went and got your Happy Meal, and there it was.
It's interesting to me that, I mean, the poster game is out there. It's been around for ages and people collect. And I think it comes down to, were you at the show? Weren't you? Do you collect from shows you don't go to? Do you collect bands that you don't regularly collect because you love the artist? Does this piece speak to you? I mean, everybody has their different ways of collecting, but then there's sort of these other, like you said, merch adjacent items. We've seen the enamel pin kind of game explode. That's really a online social media driven thing mainly, but there's the collectible sort of baseball trading cards, size posters, or taking art and re-imaging it. And I'm interested, just like, is any of that speaking to you, Dave? Are you kind of testing the waters or thinking about it with anything like that? One of the things I just saw with the baseball card game is this, I think it's this platform or company called Collection with a Z or something like that.
Collections, yeah.
Yeah, and I think I saw at least Miles saying and Mark Spusta dropped notes that they're putting some stuff on there. But that's an interesting thing to me, that there's like this advancement into that market, and just curious if your thoughts there.
I mean, I always see that stuff and go like, great idea. Wish I was a part of it. My calling card to myself is always realizing something was a good idea, like 9 years too late.
Yeah.
So like, I did one enamel pin during like the super heat of everyone buying enamel pins, but it just said, talk to me about hockey.
Yeah.
And it was just so, I had this idea where I was like, I'll wear a pin that says, talk to me about hockey, and I'll carry one. And if someone talks to me about hockey, I'll give them a pin.
That's a great idea.
And then they can wear it and someone will talk to them about hockey. Because in LA, it's like, if someone talks to you about hockey, you're like, am I on candid camera? Like,
right.
But I think I made 30 and I just don't have any anymore.
Yeah.
And then I never made any more. And that's dumb of me. I'm sure whatever big trend is going on, I will miss it.
Well, you'll probably know the timing better than me. Your wife is also a creative, and you guys were doing these really cute, I think, ceramic, either like pendants or little like, and so is that just like another piece of like, I have a creative outlet that I just need to like give this out?
She started doing ceramics, just kind of unwind from work. And she was like making stuff, and I was making stuff with her, but I was bad at it and she was good at it. So I was like, she was like, I just finished this. Will you paint it? And it was like, yeah. And then she's like, I made 2. Will you paint these? And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, hey, if I made a bunch of stuff, let's do a series. And I was like, great. I'll sit with you while you do this, and I'll do what I do normally, but not have to put a band name on it. And it's like, they're fun. It's pretty low stakes. There is a weird like karmic thing where 10% of everything you do just turns to dust. Looks like garbage when you're done. It gets thrown in a 10,000 degree kiln, and something can go wrong pretty easy. Something fell on it in the kiln.
Toast.
Yeah, collateral damage. It got too close to the wall. It's brown now.
Right.
And it's like,
it's either toast or one of a kind.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, you do one design that like does well. It's like maybe you do 5 of them. They're all going to look pretty different, because it's like you might do it on a tile, and the tile just like turns into a nacho. But it's fun because like I go to these poster events, and you put your stuff behind you, and then you've got the table in front of you, and that's where the ceramics goes. And it's a lot of fun because the demographic you get over and over is the dad walks up with his son. The dad is looking for shows he's been to, and the son doesn't give any kind of care about that.
Yep.
And he's looking down, and he goes like, it's a cake with a nose on it. And he's like, Dad, I got to have this cake.
You're right. This is
and the
cool.
dad's like, yeah, okay. And at the end of the day, I've only sold ceramics and then one Primus poster from 2010.
Oh, wow.
And it works for me. It all means something. So
Do you ever have sort of like the idea that the ceramic pops up and then you're like, oh, this would be a cool concept for a poster? Like this sort of that artistic sort of exchange?
I had an idea when we started doing stuff. I was like, I will do one. I was like, Alexis, you make 12 bowls or like 20 bowls. And then every poster drop, I'll paint one bowl themed off that poster. So it would be like a chimp carving a rocket ship. I would paint like a carved rocket ship with like a chimp face behind it, or like the goose lamp. I never did it.
That's right up. That's right up my alley.
Idea,
that's a great
man.
idea.
Right.
That is like, but see, that's like going to be, that is the problem, which is like, well, you got one of those.
Yeah.
Like,
Talk about fans screaming. You're going to have people like, I want the bowl.
Right.
I want the Red Rocks cake bowl, Dave Kloc.
It's like,
where is it?
My calendar, and anyone who does freelance art, it's like, you can't just like put your feet up when you're done. Mm-hmm. You have to be working. You've got things coming up. You got to
go on to the next one.
Revisions from the thing you thought was done.
Yeah.
Chasing an invoice, and I can't be like, well, I'm just going to go make some pottery now that may or may not sell in 6 months when this thing comes out.
So that's a great opportunity for a segue of we're sitting here in 2026. The episode will drop here sometime in February. We're in North Carolina, where we record from, it's the frozen tundra outside, but we're starting to dream of spring tour dates, of summer tour dates. So, are you working on anything you're excited about this year? Anything that you we don't want you to ever talk about something you can't talk about, but anything you can share with the listeners.
Yes, I do want to put a pin in it. I had something come up related to something we were talking about 6 minutes ago.
Okay,
You see
let's
this
do it.
So
big
let's
mouth
put in-
Billy bass?
Yes.
This is a McDonald's promo for their fish sandwich from the 90s.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. I'm going to press the button so it sings. It sings a song about McDonald's fish sandwiches,
Oh my gosh.
but it looks like a big mouth Billy bass. Let me see. It's like from 91. So I don't
Oh
know
my
if this is
gosh.
going to work. Or if
I remember the big mouth bass.
Let me clear off some stuff because it whips its head
I
around.
don't remember it being affiliated with McDonald's. I'm really excited.
I don't think they made a lot of them.
This is
Well,
amazing.
now it's like this is happening.
All right. So it says Frankie the fish. All right. I'm going
Frankie.
to press it.
That is fire.
Oh, it's pissing my dog off.
But it's moving too.
Were you in that?
This is a whole song.
I remember that, like, give me that fillet of
The
fish,
jingle?
like jingle.
Wait, check this out.
Oh,
The dog is like, what is this?
both of ours just came in too.
Ours just showed up.
Yeah, they're like, what is that?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That's vintage.
Yeah.
Absolute throwback.
How
So we're
did
talking
you?
about McDonald's merch.
Yeah.
How did you come about having that now?
That was, we saw, my wife and I were at an Airbnb and they had one and I was like, oh, big mouth Billy bass. And I pressed it and it was not that. And then we looked it up and there's some incredible like standard def commercials you can find for this
Wow.
that are really bananas. And then like I went nuts about it and my wife's friend got it for us for Christmas.
That's
Oh my God.
Off
incredible.
eBay. You know, because some people are like, I don't need it, $20.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Gotta have it, $20.
And,
Uh-huh.
and if you find it, it's your treasure.
That's
So-
incredible.
Had to show you that. How often can I talk about it?
There's lots of good that comes from eBay. I mean,
It's
frankly,
been-
we talk about it gets a lot of hate, but how else would you be able to attain that if
Can I
not
tell you-
for?
I've done one eBay sale. I have a friend who he sells Warhammer figurine
Yeah,
and he has like 100% positive account with like 3,000 sales. And I was like, hey, can I sell a poster on your account and see how it does? He's like, no problem. And like, I see people selling my posters on eBay all the time.
yeah.
So I figured I would give it a shot. So I pulled something out of my archives, like a number 2 from a sold out edition. I put it up for sale, starting bid 50, and it sold for $50.
Perfect.
So I was
There
like,
you go.
Someone got
I was like, here it goes. I'm going to like make rent for the month.
no.
Nope. Somebody got a crazy deal.
Someone got
Yeah.
a really good deal.
Yeah. A
Yeah.
Black Keys poster I did like 7 years ago. Number 2 of the edition. I have number 1 and it just,
Well, look at it this way. You made some fan incredibly happy because
Someone's
there
did.
are those moments where, I mean, I've snagged things that I'm like, I'm not sure that they're fully, engaged with what exactly they have. I mean, I have a Dave Matthews Band from Bristow, Virginia. It was Todd Slater did these whales. And then, as the AP drop came out, missed it because it sold out like that. And somebody had the show edition.
okay.
And I think on eBay priced it at like what the AP retail was.
Yeah.
And I just, was like, we'll buy. And
Yeah.
then they sent it to me. I was like, I don't know if this is a scam. And
Right.
it showed up and it's authentic. And
Yeah.
it was like, I felt like I won the lottery. So
Yeah.
somewhere out there, there's a Black Keys fan. You made their year.
It was like some Warhammer dealer had one poster. And
This is a strange list.
Yeah.
Huh?
All these tiny pewter figures and then a Black Keys poster.
That's right. Somebody had to be searching for that specific poster.
Yep.
Right, you can't imagine unless they are like the
They
one
are the
Warhammer collector
crossover
that
collector.
Right, the crossover. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
He's
they
in
hit
there
him up.
looking to build his battalion, and then like,
Right.
what the snagged it? That's amazing.
That's incredible. Well, thank you for sharing that because I've actually seen the fish behind, like in your peripheral, the whole episode, and I was like, "What is that? Is that?" And I
Yeah.
thought it was one of the big bass mouth fishes.
Big
That
bass
is
mouth
even
fish. Yeah.
so
there's-
much better.
There's that. There's like a life model rooster, and then the Stanley Cup, and I'm like,
Yep. And
well dressed.
autographed Gene Kelly 8x10. And this, I'll show you. I'm very proud of this.
It's a miniature Stanley Cup.
This is my friend Steph Baum made these. My friend
Is it
Neil, it is a plush, squishy, metallic, what do you call it? Like felt, not felt.
Yeah.
Like fabric.
Cloth? Fabric, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Stanley Cup with like beautiful, like these little
Embroidery.
lines. Yeah.
Yeah, they went really detailed.
So my friend Steph made this. My friend Neil commissioned her to make this, and he was like, "Can you make two?"
That is awesome.
That's so cool. We have a very interesting Stanley Cup story. We mentioned to you earlier, Pittsburgh Steelers, Penguins, the whole nine. But my son was born the year that the Steelers won the Super Bowl and the Penguins won the Stanley Cup. And we had a
2017?
friend, 2009. He was born 2008,
Okay, that's
2009.
Stanley Cup.
Yeah, that
Yep.
Stanley Cup. He's not. So we had a friend.
And we were living in Pittsburgh.
We were living
at
in
the
Pittsburgh
time,
at the time. We had a friend who was neighbors with one of the like assistant coaches, I think.
It was one of
assistant.
one of the scouts. It was Ed. I'm trying to think of his last
Yeah.
name, but he was a former coach of the Penguins, and they had made him head of scouting
Yeah.
or whatnot. And so his daughter lived in this neighborhood that our friends lived in.
Yep.
And
And each person, I guess, on the team would get it. You get a day with the Stanley Cup. When
Oh,
if
yeah.
you win, you like everyone. So they decided to have a block party and invite whoever wanted to come and come see the Stanley Cup. And our son was 6, maybe 5 months old.
About 6 months,
little
yes.
little squishy little baby.
Yeah.
And I have a picture of Caden, our son, in the top of the Stanley Cup.
yeah, we wait.
So
Our friends called us. They're like, the Stanley Cup is going to be in our neighborhood in the next 20 minutes. If you can get over
Yeah.
here, we're lining up, and you get to take a picture with it. We were
We're
like,
like, done.
I think we were at a Costco or something. We were like, we will be there. Jumped in the car,
Gone.
hightailed over,
Isn't it crazy
and
to
stood in
see?
line with everybody. Got to know people in the neighborhood, and then had our Penguin shirts on. And as you get up there, it was a little bit uncertain, like, because they don't really want you to hold the cup and lift the cup. They told you that.
Yeah.
But I was like, can we sort of kiss the cup? And they were like, you can kind of get like that and do
Like,
it.
but you can put your baby
They were like-
in the top.
Right,
We're like,
sure.
done.
Yeah, we got
Yeah,
wet
all
wipes.
of a sudden. So it was like all these rules, but it was like, yeah, but throw your kid up in the top of the cup. And we were like, will do.
I'll
Like,
have
we-
to
The
find
things-
a picture and I'll send it to you.
That's
'Cause,
awesome.
When do you get the experience of seeing it in real life? And then
It's the biggest celebrity in sports. It's so
absolutely-
iconic.
Yep.
And it's agnostic of the team, right? It's
Right.
this thing that's just this magical thing that,
Well, as a kid, we did a summer trip we did Niagara Falls, and then we went to Toronto, and we went to the Hockey Hall of Fame. That was the only time I had seen the Stanley Cup was, behind the glass and all of that. They have the Hart trophies, they have everything. But then to actually be in the city when
presence.
your team wins it, that was pretty awesome. And who knows? Maybe there's another cup coming to Pittsburgh this year. We'll see. They're
Or
they're
Carolina.
on a tear right now.
Yeah, I mean, if it's in Carolina and you can go to a game,
Yeah.
I know. And it's a lot of fun and we enjoy just the excitement around it. I mean, it's not just the sports, it's the event. You go get your hot dog and your pretzel and the little foam fingers. And I mean, dare I say it is the most, American sport there is out there.
Oh, yeah. I
You
mean,
know? Come on, hockey.
I love it. I do.
Color Haiku is back. Southern California's one-day marketplace for gig poster art, print culture, and the artists behind the work. This returns for its 4th year in a row, presented by Invisible Industries and hosted once again at GABA Gallery in the heart of Los Angeles. This is where the online obsession becomes real life. Go find top band posters for sale. Go meet the artists who create the work face to face. Color Haiku brings together established voices and emerging artists from across the region and beyond. A community that shows up to support independent artists, creative culture. If you've ever felt that rush at a show, if you've ever chased a limited edition poster drop online, this is where it all comes together. It's one day only, so don't miss it. This is Color Haiku. Find the details at colorhaiku.com. Tell us a little bit about 2026 now.
All right.
If you want to share a little bit, what can we as fans kind of salivate over or potentially think about like, hey, what's coming up for Dave?
let me look at my calendar. I'm supposed to be working on a Luke Combs poster, which is a real left turn. I'm working for this band Slift again that I really like. They're kind of a psych rock band from France. I did some work for them last year and I fell in love with them. Band called RX Bandits I used to really like. I'm doing some work for them. A Pussifer poster coming up. I don't know how much I'm supposed to be talking about, but who cares? And then I actually have some non-poster art stuff coming up that I know I can't talk about, and I shouldn't because it would feel like I'd be jinxing it. But it is illustration based. I'll say it's in the video game world.
Okay.
Okay.
And it is deeply in my world. It is so massively my shit.
That is
But
exciting.
I am very aware that not a lot of people will care about it. And I'm preparing myself to just go away for a while and then come back and have a few people be like, you did it. And a few people be like,
But
yeah,
it's like, this is you. What cooler of an experience to be able to say like this one, maybe it's not for everybody, but this is my shit and I'm super stoked about it.
Yeah.
And two, then you get to be the person that brings that idea to that group of people who there will be. There will be a group of people.
I know there are people out there.
There are going to be, you will find your people, but that's really exciting because we collect, art, but we collect poster art and then the art that comes out of it. I love sometimes if there is a band that we don't follow, but we love the art for it. I love when you guys do like the art, print version of it and take the band off of it or whatnot, especially if it's a piece that we're just like, this is super cool. But I just think that that's awesome. Yeah, this is one.
Right.
Well, we have this one too.
And then there's the little
and
guy.
then the actual art print. So, and this was a collaboration you did with Lan as well.
Yeah, Jess Siemens. Yeah.
Yeah, which is just so beautiful. The Tiffany lamp is so cool. And I don't know, this is like a very left turn, but Goosemiths, which is their like big, I don't know, holiday show that they do every year. This year was like this cool like carnival Barnum and Bailey type circus theme. And there was a lamp that was on stage with them. It was like on Rick's like kit. And people were going bananas. They're like, was this the lamp from the Dave Kloc thing? Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
Do you think it was?
It is very similar. If you go look, you can watch I think it was, night 1, 2 on YouTube for Goosemiths. But at the end of the show, Rick goes and turns off the lamp. And, it's a stained glass Tiffany level lamp.
That's the first I'm hearing about it. That's pretty
Super
cool.
It's just one of those things like we don't know if like it's Easter egged or what. And then you never know. You never know. I mean, whether it is intentionally or not,
Or
right?
just
The fact that this band had a piece of art done for one of their shows that's a Tiffany lamp, and then come full circle at their end of the year show, they turn out the lamp at the end of the set, and it's this little Tiffany lamp. It just felt like the universe putting these things together.
That is cool. I got to look into that.
Yeah.
I genuinely have no idea from a show to show basis whether the band even knows about the posters. I'm sure there are times when you work for a month on a poster and the band never sees it.
Yeah.
So I love when there is like somewhere like the band signed it because I'm like, oh,
Yep.
they were staring at this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I know they sell signed editions at the merch booth, which is another thing I don't see by a lot of bands out there. They're going faster now.
Yeah.
They used to hang out for a minute, right? And now they're gobbled up as soon as people get in there. I think they only have like 10 copies or so that are signed,
very good.
but they are hand signing them. I mean, we've seen footage of them backstage and seemingly every show. I don't know if they're going to continue that trend or not, but my guess is they probably did see your lamp, Dave.
I think
my
that's
best
cool.
guess.
Sometimes I'm like, all right, that came and went. That's not that great. And then sometimes I'm like, oh, look, there's a photo of the band signing it, or like it gets turned into something else. That's cool.
Well, it means a lot then for us as the collectors, even though maybe there is a not direct correlation or direct connection with the band itself. Like for us on the receiving end, when we're going, it's the experience, it's the I'm at the show or I love the artist and I'm picking that up. And for us to receive that, there is this like incredible rush of dopamine. We're just like, yeah. And every single time it feels just as exciting. And one of the things that we're trying to do, we've learned sort of the concept of getting a portfolio and doing rotations.
Yeah.
And so we're starting to do that as well because we've got a big collection and I don't want things to just get forgotten about.
Yeah.
And so we've now started kind of doing a little rotation, like a seasonal. And it's really fun to then rediscover those prints. And there's nothing better than like that feeling you get again of reliving that moment.
Yeah.
I have a friend who moved into a pretty big apartment with zero art. And he was at my place and he was like, I have 7 3-tiered flat files and they're not all my stuff. I also collect a lot of work. Mm-hmm. And he was asking me, he's like, let's see your collection. And I was like, it's hours of me going like, there's this and there's this and there's this. And he was like, listen, I will frame, if you give me art for my new apartment, I'll frame all of it. And then when I eventually move, I'll give it back to you framed. So I gave him
pretty good deal,
25 pieces that he went and got framed. And now I don't even remember what they were, but I hung them up at his place. I went to his place. I spent a whole day, level, ruler, pencil, hammer, hung everything up. So now I've got like basically another home's worth of framed art, 2
just
miles.
Curated,
ready to go.
taken care of for you.
Yeah.
And it'll be coming back.
The wall of Kloc.
I forget, because none of it's my art. It's all stuff I've collected.
Oh, wow.
So I remember like, I was like, didn't I get the original from that dude? And I'm like, where is it? Where is it? And then I was like, oh yeah, it's
at
Ben's place.
That's very cool.
Well, Dave, before we wrap, do you want to let our listeners know where they can find you in the interwebs and check out some of your work, and if you're having any AP sales or anything like that?
If you want to come see me, I am in the quiet room at the WeWork in Glendale.
Okay.
In the back corner.
Bring your portfolios.
Yeah. Come on by. I bring my sciatica cushion. You'll know it's me.
All right.
I'm 2 inches taller than everyone because of the cushion. I have davekloc.com, which is KLOC, and Dave Kloc on Instagram. And that's it. I don't think I have any APs coming out for a while.
Well, there's
not to say I'm not working.
There will be then.
Yeah.
Tour season is
Imminent.
drawing nigh.
It is imminent. We're coming close to the time where we're all going and standing in line. And really, like, one of the things I think I get really excited about thinking is we speculate. We're like, who do you think's going to be at this show and that show? And I always, like, for us, same kind of thing. Like, I'm always like, man, it'd be really cool if Dave did a print for the show that we're
Hit me
at.
up. I'll tell you. I'll send you a screenshot of my calendar.
Very
awesome.
We won't tell anyone. Shh. But Dave, this was super cool. You've been like super supportive of us and taking your time out to come on the podcast. And I'm really stoked to see what comes out of your brain this year in all ways, shapes, and forms for the art that we love and for the shows and for the bands that people love. So we're really excited to see what this year brings for you.
Well, I hope I've got a second, but thank you guys for doing this. Like, this doesn't even need to be recorded, but like, we would all do this job because it's a job, because it's basically, we're all backed into a corner and it's the only thing we can do now with our lives. So to have it be something where it's like, oh, this resonates with cool, nice people is such a plus. Like, every day when you do something, you're like, someone's going to see this and enjoy it we're so grateful to be able to have that, where it's like, I could work any other job. And even if I liked it, it would just be me liking the job. Knowing that I can have other people like my work, it's incredible. And I'm very fortunate that you guys do what you're doing. I hope when people listen that they know that this is for them too. But like, you guys putting the effort in to collect and drum up enthusiasm for appreciating and collecting is an invaluable thing. And I don't mean like, I hope there's more sales. It's like, it really, like, personal heart dollars. I feel like a billionaire just knowing you guys are doing what you're doing.
Well, thank you.
So it's an honor to be
the honors. It's the opposite. We're just a couple poster geek collectors that just decided one day to record a conversation over coffee about upcoming tours, and to be able to share this exponentially with other people that, we were talking about earlier, like that project that's like, it's only for like maybe a micro group of people that are going to love it. Like, the poster collecting community is a lot bigger than we even anticipated and expected. And from the connections that we've had, the people that we know, the other collectors that we have, like, to be able to just bring another connective layer and
share some of that behind the scenes, kind of, how it's made, right?
Yeah.
I think, and get to talk to the artists who make these, because I mean, the stories behind it are really not told enough, and I know as a collector, as a listener myself, I like to know that stuff. It's cool to find out, hey, this is a piece, and oh, this idea ties to that, and this is what they were thinking, or they're really into the band. They really meant that Easter egg that I saw, and I thought it was an Easter egg. It really is. So, the pleasure is all ours. Thanks for taking the time and coming on and sharing some stories with us, and hopefully we can do this again.
I'd love to. I've got I didn't even get into like all the poster stories and Easter eggs. I realize now that I've got 12,000 of them, but I decided to talk about hockey a lot.
Hey,
which is
that was
my
the
prerogative.
conversation that meant to be had, and that just means you'll come back again, and we will talk about some Easter eggs next time. But Dave,
so if you're listening and you'd like to hear more Easter eggs by Dave Kloc, drop us a
give me a call.
Or see him at the WeWork in Glendale. One of the
Back corner, quiet room.
in the quiet room. Well, Dave, it's been a pleasure. We're just thrilled to have been able to connect and chat with you. And thanks for making this incredible art that we get to have on our walls that brings us joy, and keep doing it because it just means a lot to us. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a good one.
Talk soon, guys. Best of the Tour is presented by Invisible Industries. Find us at www.bestofthettour.com and on all major streaming platforms, including Spotify and Apple Music. You can also catch Erica and Mike on their other podcast, Posters in Every Direction, streaming wherever you stream your podcasts from. A big thanks for listening, and we will talk to you next time.